segment, make sure they get to see this. The woman's name is Elaine Gottschall. Viewer response to her book the last time she here was so overwhelming that she sold 23,000 copies of these in 10 days. Yeah. Today, the number of books that Elaine has sold is closer to 300,000. What is so fascinating about this woman and her work breaking the vicious cycle, you're about to find out. Please welcome the extraordinary Elaine Gottschall. Okay, I know you've helped so many people. You're now on the internet. Your work is now around the world. People are becoming aware of this. For many people who don't know, just briefly tell them how it all began for you, your passionate odyssey.
Well, in the 60s, we were bringing up our children, and our younger child overnight practically developed a disease I never heard of called ulcerative colitis. We were told that if medication didn't control it, that she would have to be operated on, her colon would have to be removed, and she'd have a bag on her.
How old was she?
She was 4.5 at the time. I'm glad that they have surgery that will cure a person, or excuse me, it is a cure. They are usually all right after the operation, but this was a very dramatic thing to do to a 4.5-year-old child. So for 3 years, my husband and I struggled to find answers, and then we did. And it's so mystical that I'm here on Valentine's Day because we discovered a doctor whose name was Sidney Valentine Haas. His birthday was on Valentine's Day. He was 92 years old when we found him, and he interviewed us and did the right tests and then put us on his original celiac diet. The one that is being used today is not the real diet. He put us on the original celiac diet that he had discovered, or he developed, and she got better. She had neurological problems, and they went in 10 days. And my husband and I...
She never had the operation?
Never had the operation.
She's fine to this day?
Oh, yes, we just moved near them, the grandchildren up there in the Coburg area. She's been fine. Been fine ever since.
As a result of all of this sent Elaine Gottschall on a passionate odyssey for the last 30 years. Elaine went back to university at age 47. She earned a BA in biology and nutritional biochemistry. She has a master's of science degree in cellular biology. This is the result of her work. The bottom line for all these diseases and breaking the vicious cycle is
that once you develop the disease, we don't know what causes them all, but once you develop them, the research has shown for the last 35, 40 years that you cannot digest carbohydrates properly, and if you continue to eat the so-called normal diet, you will overfeed the world of bacteria and yeast, which are implicated in the disease. So you have to interfere and intervene and rig up a diet, which Dr. Haas did, which is well-balanced, which is nutritious, but does not have the culprit carbohydrates in it.
It's just basically a simple diet made out of, without carbohydrates.
Without the starches from grains. We have beans, we have legumes, vegetables, fruits, nuts. We have a wonderful diet.
We have some people who have been through this. In the front row, the beautiful young lady is Katie, and this is her mother, Jennifer. And Katie has had a problem. What was the problem, Jennifer?
She has celiac disease.
Okay.
And the normal gluten-free diet that they recommend didn't work for her. She wasn't thriving. And
what do you mean she wasn't thriving? What's that mean to you?
She was always sick, diarrhea, tummy aches all the time. It just didn't work.
And when did you discover Elaine Gottschall's work?
A little over a year ago.
And since then, Katie, how have you been feeling?
A lot better.
The problems are gone? Yeah, no more tummy aches? No more tummy aches?
No.
No more green apple quick step where you have to run to the bathroom all the time? That's all been cured too?
Yeah.
Congratulations. You look wonderful. Right beside Katie and Jennifer is Darcy. How old are you, Darcy?
14.
And you've had what?
Crohn's disease.
Go ahead.
I had it for 4 years before they diagnosed it.
And you've been on this diet for how long?
7 months.
And have you noticed a difference? And if so, what difference?
Yeah, a great difference. Last year I was usually sleeping in school a lot and laying down on the couch. And I took the diet for 3 weeks, and I was up and jumping around, and then ever since I've been on it, I've had no stomach pains. I've got extremely better. I can run, I can do things, I can shop. It's just been really exciting.
I can tell by the smile on your face. You're doing good, huh? This is a good thing. Okay. One last question here. This is not an extreme diet where you eat watercress or strawberries. This is a good, solid diet. And how many people could we sit in this audience if we could hold them all? Have you helped?
I have hundreds and hundreds of letters of testimony, and I assume there are thousands out there. I understand there are 300 people on one group on the internet all over the world who have been helped, and they're exchanging recipes. I'm not even online. They did this themselves.
Okay.
So there are probably thousands all over the world who, fortunately, have tried this wonderful diet out and who are better. That's as simple as that.
Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to tell you where you can buy this book if you need some help. We're also going to talk to a man in Hollywood, a director who's gotten Meryl Streep to star in this film called First Do No Harm, the story of his son, an epileptic child. Diet help. We'll do that in a second.
Coming back, we'll have more.
Pills to start working. Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine is ready to rush.
Movie producer, director Jim Abrams. It's his movie called First Do No Harm that's being shown this weekend starring Meryl Streep. This is a movie not about the Abrams son, Charlie, but it's a family that has a very similar problem. Jim, your son suffered from a type of epilepsy?
Yeah, Charlie has epilepsy. He started having seizures on his first birthday, and he was treated the way Western medicine treats kids with epilepsy. First, there are about a dozen or 15 drugs that they try on the kids, and first by themselves and then in different combinations. And when they fail, they try brain surgery. And unfortunately, Charlie was subjected to all of that and to no avail, doing nothing more than kind of setting him back dramatically developmentally. And then eventually the doctors told us that Charlie would probably continue to have seizures at the same rate he was having them, which was dozens a day, until he was about 18 or 20, at which time he would be severely retarded and, in a home somewhere or something. Given that prognosis, my wife and I put everything else aside and started doing some reading on our own, and we came across a very well-documented diet for epilepsy called the ketogenic diet. It was discovered in the 1920s and has been documented by some of the most famous neurologists and at some of the most famous medical schools and hospitals in the United States, including Johns Hopkins and the Mayo Clinic.
What happened when Charlie went on the ketogenic diet?
He went from having dozens of seizures a day to no seizures within 2 days, and he was off all of his drugs within a month.
Oh my God. Jim, you know Elaine Gottschall. Elaine's with me today. Elaine, is your diet is not the ketogenic diet?
No, it isn't. And in fact, as long as there's a diet out there that's going to make them better, I wouldn't care which one they use.
Right.
The ketogenic diet is a high-fat diet, but interestingly enough, no one has bothered to look at the fact that it practically eliminates carbohydrates. And my common denominator is, of course, that we only use specific carbohydrate diets. So don't you know, I'm going to win a Nobel Prize because I know why the ketogenic diet works. I'm kidding, Jim. I'm kidding. They've tried to find out a long time why a high-fat diet reverses it, and they haven't gotten anywhere. And I'm saying I think it's the elimination of the carbohydrates that's doing it.
Okay, whether it's the elimination or the high fat, the people with epilepsy or children who have it don't care. Jim, where do they get the diet from if somebody watching the show and wants it?
Well, interestingly, now in Toronto, you can go to Bloorview Hospital. They're having enormous success with the diet in the last couple of years since it's had a sort of resurgence in interest. Dr. Rosalind Curtis runs the pediatric neurology program at Bloorview.
Okay.
And that's where I would go if I was in Toronto and I had a kid with difficult-to-control seizures.
Okay, this is a national show, so there's a lot of people in this country. What we're going to have to do, folks, is we're going to have to figure out a way to get this diet or copy of it, because I know there's going to be thousands of phone calls, and Bloorview might not be thrilled when we close down the switchboard.
Well, let me tell you this also. We have a foundation which we started, which merely called the Charlie Foundation, which we put together to release information about the diet. If anybody calls us...
Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal.
Yeah.
Tomorrow when I go on air, we'll make arrangements with you after the show to get the diet, and we'll make arrangements that if anybody in this country wants it, they can get it through us. Okay, Jim? Okay, we'll do that. Okay?
Well, no, there's no.
Or we'll give out Jim's phone number, but we'll figure it out by tomorrow. Yeah. Or Jim, we'll give out your phone number, but we'll figure it out, folks, and we'll give it to you tomorrow, so not to worry.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now, by the way, just before we lose Jim, we should say that his made-for-TV movie is airing February the 16th on ABC. It is called First Do No Harm. Thank you for joining us. Okay. This does not work for everybody who has epilepsy. I don't know if it works 100% of the time.
No, it doesn't, but people
But
should...
what do you got to lose?
People should know that it has been documented, it is well researched.
Yep.
When we didn't get them out of the gutter, that one came from Johns Hopkins. Why people cannot be told that there is an alternative and why they cannot try this before they start operating on their brains, I don't know.
Okay, you can buy this book at bookstores across this country. It is called Breaking the Vicious Cycle. The woman is Elaine Gottschall, and in honor of, what was his name?
Dr. Sidney Valentine Haas.
Dr. Sidney Valentine Haas. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Next on Dini, taking the initiative.